The question hits you in the quiet of the night. What is the meaning of life? It wakes you at 3 a.m., pressing heavy on your chest, too vast for words and too sharp to ignore. A hollow ache spreads through you, as if something essential is missing, though you can't explain why. Sometimes it appears in a crowded room, when you feel invisible in the middle of everything. Other times, it comes in the middle of a busy day, when you suddenly feel detached from your own routine, moving through tasks that no longer feel like they belong to you. If you've been here, know this is not a flaw. It isn't proof that you're lost or falling behind. This moment is not your failure. It is your awakening. And yet, if it feels so deeply human, why does it weigh on us like a burden too heavy to carry? Psychology calls this existential anxiety. When we face the unknown, the brain's alarm system, the amygdala, sparks, and the default mode network spins in loops of rumination. That is why the question drains you. It does not stay in your head, it floods your whole body. But once you understand this, the weight softens. The question no longer has to be an enemy. It can become a compass. Meaning is not something you will stumble upon as a single answer. It is something you live, moment by moment, in the way you choose to be here. There are 7 powerful lenses that can help you see this more clearly. Each one offers a new way to carry the question with less fear and more peace. The first begins where we always begin, with each other. Anxiety often grows louder when we feel cut off and alone, as if we are islands drifting apart. But we are wired for connection. Our nervous systems calm in the presence of safe and trusted people. Meaning is not always something we discover in solitude. It is often woven in the spaces between us. It is the warmth of being truly seen, the relief of knowing someone cares, the strength that comes from belonging. Research shows that even in times of great crisis, connection is one of the strongest predictors of resilience. Meaning does not have to be a distant answer. Sometimes it is right here, in the bonds that hold us together. And if you want to feel this lens in your own life, start small. Reach out to someone who makes you feel safe and let them know what they mean to you. After connection, the next step is to make sense of our own lives. Because even when we are surrounded by people, our story can feel fragmented, like scattered pages without a plot. The lens of story invites us to step back and see our life as a narrative we are actively shaping. Struggles stop being isolated failures and become turning points. Challenges are no longer meaningless events, but chapters of growth. Research shows that people who work to make sense of their experiences often emerge with more resilience and clarity. This is the power of story. It does not erase the pain, but it weaves it into a larger arc that makes us stronger. And if you want, choose one difficult moment from your past and give it a title. Not the title of the pain itself, but of what it taught you. That small shift can turn chaos into meaning. Every story has turning points, and often they are born from struggle. The lens of growth asks us to see challenges not as interruptions to a meaningful life, but as raw material for it. Pain, loss, and setbacks shape resilience and deepen empathy. Psychology calls this post-traumatic growth, the evidence that hardship can not only be survived, but transformed into strength. Growth does not justify suffering, but it can turn scars into wisdom. And if you want, look at one current challenge in your life and ask what it might be teaching you. Patience, courage, boundaries. Naming the lesson can transform the weight of struggle into the seed of meaning. Growth rarely stays contained within us. When we discover strength through struggle, it often creates a natural desire to give back. The lens of service reveals that meaning deepens when our growth meets the needs of others. It does not require heroic acts or grand gestures. Sometimes it is as simple as listening without judgment, offering kindness, or making someone's day a little lighter. Science shows that helping others activates the brain's reward system, creating what researchers call the helper's high. Service strengthens connection, lifts our own well-being, and reminds us that our lives ripple far beyond ourselves. And if you want, look for one small way to ease someone's path today. It could be encouragement, generosity, or presence. In giving, you often discover the very meaning you were searching for. Even as we serve others, meaning can only ever be lived in one place: the present moment. The lens of presence reminds us that life is not waiting for us somewhere in the future. It is here, in the ordinary details we often overlook. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of morning coffee, the sound of rain against the window. Research on mindfulness shows that presence reduces stress and increases life satisfaction because it anchors us in what is real. Meaning is not always in extraordinary milestones. More often, it is in the quiet beauty of everyday life when we are awake enough to notice it. And if you want, pause once today and give your full attention to a single moment. Notice what you see, hear, and feel. That simple act can shift you back into the aliveness of now. When we slow down enough to be present, another question often rises. Am I living in a way that feels true to me? The lens of authenticity reveals that meaning is not found in perfection or performance, but in alignment. It is the quiet strength that comes when your outer life reflects your inner values. Many feel empty, not because they lack achievement, but because they are living a story written by others. Authenticity asks us to set aside the mask, even when it feels risky, and to trust that who we are is enough. Each time you honor your truth over approval, you build self-respect. And if you want, notice one place in your life where you feel out of alignment. Take one small step toward honesty in that space. Even a gentle no or a wholehearted yes can restore meaning. When we live with authenticity, something remarkable happens. The world begins to open again, not as a place to control, but as a mystery to witness. The lens of wonder invites us to see life with new eyes, to let ourselves be moved by what is vast and beautiful. A starry sky, the ocean's horizon, Even the intricate veins of a single leaf can shift us out of anxiety and into awe. Neuroscience shows that experiences of wonder quiet the brain's self-focused rumination and create a sense of connection to something larger. Wonder doesn't solve the question of meaning with words. It answers with a feeling, a reminder that it is extraordinary simply to exist. And if you want, give yourself permission to seek one small moment of awe this week. Look up, look closely, let yourself be amazed. And when awe softens the anxious mind, it leaves space for another question to rise. If meaning can be received in moments like this, what about purpose? Wonder shows us that meaning is not always something we create. Sometimes it is something we receive. But alongside meaning, there is another force that guides us, and that is purpose. Purpose and meaning often dance together, but they are not the same. Purpose looks forward. It asks, what am I meant to do? What role am I here to play? Meaning is woven into experience itself. It asks, why does this matter? What gives this moment significance? One is a compass that points ahead. The other is the fabric beneath your feet. You can have a strong sense of purpose without feeling daily meaning. And you can live meaningful moments without one grand purpose. Neither is superior. Together, they support and clarify each other. The question, what is the meaning of life, is not a problem to solve. It is an invitation to live more intentionally, more compassionately, more authentically. Meaning is not a distant destination you arrive at one day. It is the quality you bring to each moment. In the warmth of connection, in the strength forged through struggle, in the quiet awe of a sunset, in the courage of being true to yourself. Remember, the meaning of life is not found in an answer. It is lived, moment by moment, in the way you choose to be here. And if you are ready to turn that reflection inward, to understand how anxiety shapes your own search for meaning, I invite you to take a free 3-minute quiz. In just a few questions, you will discover your personal anxiety profile. You will see your patterns more clearly, almost like holding up a mirror that shows not only where your tension hides, but also the paths toward greater calm. The quiz will give you science-based insights and a next step tailored to you, so you can feel less lost and more guided. Click the link in the pinned comment or in the description and take the quiz now.